Hi, welcome back to the channel. When the conversation about eating healthy comes up, one of the first directions that conversation typically takes is to the cost. Food is expensive. Healthy food is expensive. And especially right now with the way grocery prices seem to keep just going up and up. So today we're going to talk about how you can eat healthy, increase your health, without emptying your wallet. So I'm Dr. Kathy Shaw. I'm a Florida licensed chiropractic physician, PhD researcher, and a professor of biochemistry and endocrinology. So you might be wanting to do keto, low carb, high healthy fat, or banting, or something like that, and you're concerned about the cost of doing that. So today we're going to talk about some general things that can make it both easier and more economical to eat a healthy diet. So the first general thing, at least to me, is huge. Food prepping. I'm a big food prepper. I don't like coming home, having to think about what to eat, having to prepare it, having to clean up after it. When I'm hungry, I just want to eat. So, like I said, this one's a big one for me. And it's big in a couple of ways. So, it's big in terms of eating more economically, because you can buy in bulk and take advantage of sales. So you can buy more of something than you're actually going to use at that moment, turn it into a meal, freeze it, and then you have it later. So that's a huge part of the meal prepping. Though it's not just an economic thing. When you're in a hurry, that's when you tend to grab something. Whether it's grabbing something in the drive-thru, grabbing a frozen pizza, things like that. So that's when you're really most likely to take the unhealthy route. So if you can come home, have something healthy in the fridge, throw it in the microwave or whatever, it gives you a quick, healthy alternative. If you actually calculate it out, which I've done, your cost per meal is easily going to beat, the takeout, the fast food, the pizza you order, or whatever. It can also be a family activity to set aside a weekend afternoon and make the meals for the week. So another kind of general hack is canning or freezing. And there's a couple of ways to go about this one. First one is you can buy bulk ingredients and freeze or can them depending on what they are and what you like doing. I like to do meat this way. I'll buy meat when it's on sale, and I'll buy way more than I can use, but by freezing it, then I end up using it. I'm not much of a canner. I have friends that are really into it, and I really appreciate the stuff they give me when they do it. They make some really fantastic things. But like I said, really not my thing, probably something I do need to figure out. But I'm big on freezing. And it not only makes the cost of meals lower, but makes you use all of the product. There's nothing worse than throwing out food that you let rot in the fridge because you didn't get to use it. That kills your budget right there. Takes care of the savings you got from buying it in bulk. So it's a nice way to keep from doing that. The other thing is freezing the prepped meals is another good option. And this is one I really like doing. I'll prep several meals of the same thing, but I really don't want to eat the same thing for dinner every night of the week, so I'll freeze them. I'll do it again a few days later, freeze them. It's kind of like making your own TV dinners and having them ready to go. Then I can take different things out of the freezer and have a little bit of a variety in what I eat. Still lets me cook in bulk, still lets me make one big mess at once, and still lets me just grab something quick when I come home and want to eat, not cook, and want something good for dinner. Also works really well if you have a family where not everybody likes the same thing. Pull different dinners out of the freezer for different members of the family. And this one works really well for picky kids. They can have what they want, you can have what you want, and just do that by having multiple different dinners frozen. So anyway, that's my big one I like doing. So now let's talk about some less expensive ingredients for eating that low carb, high healthy fat or keto or whatever you're doing. So we're going to talk about some fresh ingredients, and you can use these in the freezing and the bulk and all that. So the first one is eggs. Eggs are relatively inexpensive even now. You can buy them in a little bit bigger quantities, or the best one is go to a farmer's market and get the fresh eggs. They're fresh and even a little bit cheaper. Eggs are such a good food source. They have good fats, they have proteins. They're such a nice, complete little food in a way. You can boil them, boil a bunch of them ahead, leave them in the fridge, and they're a really good snack. So they're ready to grab and go kind of snack. Or if you really want to get everything out of your eggs, the shell and membrane can be used in making homemade bone broth. Not super difficult to do that. It takes a little bit of time, but especially that membrane is full of collagen, chondroitin sulfate, things like that are really good for your joints. The next one's frozen vegetables. They're not ideal, but if they're frozen properly, they retain most of their nutrition, but they're convenient also. So they're cheaper than fresh and more convenient, so you're getting both right there. Fresh is ideal, but like I said, this is a cheaper option. But a couple things with that. You can use just what you need. So if you only need a little bit of something, thaw out a little bit of it, not waste the whole thing. So you're saving money there again by not throwing out food that you aren't going to use. The other thing with frozen vegetables that's kind of nice is if you want a particular veggie that's not in season, that's a way of getting it. Next one's bacon. Bacon always brings up a couple of objections. But, bacon's expensive. But, bacon's processed. We'll talk about the processed part in another video. And bacon really gets a bad rap, and it's really not that bad. So bacon double duties for you too in a couple of ways. Adds really great flavor to other foods, and you don't actually have to use that much of it to get that flavor. The other bonus from bacon is bacon grease. Use the bacon, but save the grease. You can use that to cook other stuff, and it adds a really nice bacony flavor. So with bacon, you're getting something to eat. You're also getting something to cook other food in. Next one's greens. You can get some really good greens on sale and some really healthy greens on sale. Stuff like turnip greens, kale, spinach. Spinach is a great one. They can be good for multiple meals. They're less expensive than other greens, and they contain a ton of nutrition. Kale is absolutely fantastic for so many things. The nutrients, the enzymes it helps you produce, things like that. There's other more expensive greens, but we're focusing on low carb on a budget in this video. Next one's ground beef. Hamburger, it's great. Doesn't need actually to be lean ground beef either. And there's actually no reason to worry about your ground beef being lean. Fattier ground beef is cheaper. Fat contains a lot of omega-3 fatty acids and other good stuff that you need. Of course, grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef is better, and we do talk about that. But if you're on a budget, regular ground beef beats frozen dinners and doing the drive-through. Just like bacon, the tallow or the fat can also be saved to season or cook other meals. Next one is pecans. Pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from. They're a fantastic snack. They're nutritious, they're low carb, they're one of the cheapest nuts compared to almonds, other nuts, and you can usually buy them in bulk. Also, good thing, there's no GMO pecans that I'm aware of, so you don't have to worry about the GMO part of it. So they're just an all-around great snack that you can buy in bulk. Next one, canned fish. Of course, fresh, wild-caught fish is the best, but canned can be cheaper and can be more convenient. Stuff like canned tuna, salmon, sardines, anchovies, things like that. They're relatively cheap, they contain good fats, they're good sources of protein, and they're low carb. The sardines and the anchovies are almost always wild caught too, which is nice. If you could eat these and eat the entire fish, you also get lots of collagen from the cartilage and the bones. So if you need some more flavor, throw some mustard on it. Still low carb, still cheap, gives you a little more flavor with them. So this was just kind of a quick list of less expensive, low-carb, healthy foods that won't break the bank. You know, anyone who knows me knows I was a college student for a long time, so did the college student budget, and came up with a lot of things that are cheaper and also more convenient eating. So along with being lower cost, some of these options are convenient too. The convenience part usually is what keeps you eating healthy, making the healthier choices. So if you're looking for more ways to reclaim your health, lower your blood sugar, lower your insulin levels, and decrease inflammation, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. If you have friends or family members that are trying to reclaim their health and you think this video would help them, please download it, send it to them, ask them to subscribe as well. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video.